Guys, it's John here, and I thought I'd do something different. I've been talking about the Chiefs since last year and how it's so obvious that they're going to win the three-peat, get another Super Bowl. And I've had so many people tell me that it's too obvious. And I guess people just haven't checked last year because last year was pretty darn obvious, as was the year before. And it's not really getting through to people, which is fine because I'm not always right. But when I call the preseason pick last year, basically, it wasn't even preseason, it was last year. I think I might be onto something. And it's nothing obvious. I mean, it's something the NFL's been shoving in our face. So, you know what? I just figured I'd go ahead and go a different route about why I think the Chiefs are going to win. So, we're going to go right now. So, yeah. Let's go. I've said it so much that it's a bitch to repeat. So, I decided to make my pitch to a beat. It's very simple. It's a historical feat. Ain't no doubt we got a Kansas City repeat. Patty's the next Jordan. It's just time to accept it. I guess that last year y'all haven't learned the lesson. It's in the script and it has been for years. So get it out now, the sadness and tears. They need to debate between Tom Brady and Pat. But Mahomes can't catch him because he don't got the stats. Brady got 7 rings like he was Saturn. But take a second to look at the pattern. And honestly, this year it's gonna be Pat's turn. Check it. Here's how to finish to the whole thing. Pat gonna win even if he's rolled in a sling. The referees whistles, you know they gon' sing. Then Kelsey's gonna propose with his Super Bowl ring. It's time for the Tom Pat vendetta. Referees calling shots like they had a Beretta. They gonna throw flags like they were repping gay pride. Every Philly fan gonna get taken a ride. Ain't no way they'll let the golden boy lose. The results of the games only the owners can choose. So don't blame the refs, they're a pawn in the system. The announcers' deflections, they're nauseous to listen to. Mahomes is the next Jordan, it's time to accept it. No way this three-peat's gonna get rejected. Brady gonna bend like he's a detective. And that the gamblers gonna be the only ones that are affected. You can call me a clown, but I'm a wizard with calls. Philly burning the city anyway, win, lose, or draw. It's sports entertainment by the exact definition. Like WWE, Patrick is winning. No cap, but it's the hat trick they give him. All in all, it's going to be an obvious script yet, so I say it's time to start placing your bets. Chiefs win and people will blame in the refs. Just bet KC and save you some stress. Remember, ESPN has always been the Disney house, incepted by the people who made Mickey Mouse. Chiefs win history, and you can quote me on that. Super Bowl 59 is devoted to Pat. So I just kind of made that up. I honestly didn't take too much time to put into it, but I thought maybe it might register with a few people. To be honest, that's basically everything I believe. Wasn't very long, but honestly, I'm not a rapper. I just kind of do shit for fun. But at the end of the day, there's just no way, in my opinion, that Patrick Mahomes here is going to lose. It just makes no sense. We already have the Mahomes Jordan comparisons, the three-peat, and to me it just doesn't make any sense. They've been so blatant with it over the last couple years. And I have a good friend, I believe, at work, and they just do not believe that the Chiefs. I don't know if they don't believe the Chiefs are going to win or if it's more she's just reluctant to believe it, but I just don't get it because I've talked to a lot of people about this, and last year I went through the same exact thing when I'm like, yeah, the Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl, and people are like, oh no, it's way too obvious. You just have to watch Pat McAfee, which I find interesting. I notice with certain words, terms, names, you'll see them over and over, right? So who's calling the game? Yeah, a former Pat. Tom Brady, right? For Patrick Mahomes, of course. So, and of course Patrick Mahomes is the new Brady. So, to me it's just so darn obvious. I just thought, you know what the heck, let's just go ahead and make it to a beat because I've put this in as many ways as I could. I didn't perfectly call. I've had a few people tell me like, oh wow, you didn't have the exact Super Bowl, you're trash. And that's fine, you can have that opinion. But anybody that calls the Super Bowl winner in the preseason when they're getting like plus 400, I would say that's a pretty intellectual being. Not to sound cocky, but We got the Celtics preseason last year. We called the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl last year. I actually thought the Niners might have a chance. Once the two-peat happened, the three-peat was inevitable. And with these Jordan, here's the thing. If Mahomes loses, he has absolutely no argument whatsoever against Brady. It's over. He could win the next 3 years. He's still short of Brady. He's not going to touch his stats. He doesn't have the longevity. There's nothing there. But, and you can just tell they love Patrick Mahomes. That's why they have Brady calling the game. If and when Pat wins, now you can make the argument. Because he can finish with 5 Super Bowls, just like Jordan is not better than Kareem. He's not. Kareem is the best basketball player of all time in a fair league. But since they market Jordan, he is considered the greatest, the GOAT. And they need to do that with Patrick Mahomes. They're putting these games on Nickelodeon now. And it's for a reason. So, it's pretty straightforward to me. It's not a case of, oh, it's the ultimate. I've had so many people tell me all year, oh, this is the ultimate bait and switch. They've been tricking us all year. And people have told me this in the divisional round, in the wild card. Well, they had a bye, the wild card, but divisional round, championship round, and now in the Super Bowl. And to me, it's just getting ridiculous. The NFL does not care if you know it's rigged. They're getting more ratings than the NBA. They're doing better than they did in a long time. And it's because they're catering to mindless children. And, you know, if you're a guy, a grown adult who thinks the Eagles are going to win, I'm not trying to insult you. It's just, I mean, when you have SpongeBob calling the games, it kind of tells you where the NFL's headed. So, everything I said in my better than Eminem style rap, I truly believe. I don't see Mahomes losing this. Pat McAfee, another Pat, by the way, which, again, just keeps coming up, right? We got the Pats, we got Brady from the Pats, we got Pat Mahomes, we got Pat McAfee. And I just don't see any universe where they're going to let Patrick Mahomes lose. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. He's already right there. It's history. And they need ratings. WWE is catching up big time, especially with the Netflix deal. And the NFL, obviously, even though they're all owned by the same people who, again, wrote Goofy and Mickey Mouse, they're going to compete with the NBA. So, you give Mahomes a three-peat, then you can say, oh, wow, Mahomes versus Jordan. And because Brady never got the three-peat, now you have an argument. If the Chiefs lose, Pat's never catching Brady in passing yards. He's never catching him I don't think, in passing touchdowns. He's never catching him in championships. He's not catching him in longevity. There's just no argument. But if and when he wins the Super Bowl, they can then turn around and do the same thing they did with Jordan. Even though Kareem's the greatest basketball player of all time, which is not ironic, but coincidental, because if you look at the only other rap video I put out, it's going over the top 10 greatest basketball players of all time. And Jordan is not that guy. Nick Wright put it best. He went in, he's the guy on First Things First, and years ago people were all over that show saying this guy's a clown, the show sucks. And I explained this show's going to do better ratings than any other show because they are entertaining. So, on that show, all they debate is well, if Mahomes gets the three-peat, then he's better than Brady. And they're already talking about it, despite the fact he has less than half the rings Brady has. Just try and compare that to any other athlete, it wouldn't even be acceptable. You couldn't turn around and be like, oh yeah, Stafford is as good as Bradshaw, or whatever the case may be, as Montana, because he has a ring or two. And he might catch up to him, even if he wins back-to-back, etc. But with Mahomes, they make that argument. And it's all about marketability. They got SpongeBob calling the games, like I said. When you have things like that happening, there's just no way. They're targeting a new demographic. They do not care about the diehard fan who might think it's scripted. I genuinely think they make it more blatant just to kind of let us know it doesn't matter. We're going to get ratings either way. And the biggest gripe I have, and I went into it with my fire bars earlier, is the fact that the referees are probably the lowest paid personnel on the entire field. They probably get paid less than the freaking water boys. They don't make a lot of money. The disgraced NBA referee, and I use disgraced in quotes because I don't think he's disgraced, Tim Donahue, for a while I've been trying to get him. I mean, he's ready to go. It's just a matter of me finding time to sit down and have an interview with him and pay the guy. But he's going to go into the NBA and essentially what he was told to do. So just think about it. Any job, right? You got like owners, you got GMs, and then you have a lowly ref. And he's just going to go out there and throw the game. They would not allow this. Like, they wouldn't allow the referees to throw the game for Kansas City. These guys would immediately be fired. But what happens is, now everybody's blaming the refs. Like, somehow the refs have this ridiculous control where they can just determine games and they're not going to get questioned by the owners of the teams that they're screwing over. And I think that's what frustrates me the most, that people can't wrap their brains around that. These referees are not billionaires. They're not part of the club. They are told what to do. They do what they're told what to do. That's why you'll notice if you see something like a drop pass by a Kansas City receiver, 8 seconds later, way after the play, a line of scrimmage judge who's not even in the secondary will throw a flag on like illegal contact on the defense, to give the Chiefs a free first down, stuff like that. And everybody is so hyper fixated on the refs. And I'm not saying the refs are clean, but I'm almost getting tired of the ref blaming because it's not the refs. They're being told what to do. If a referee went rogue and just decided, you know what, I'm going to screw over the Eagles because I want the Chiefs to win, that dude would be pulled by the first quarter. And we probably would never hear from him again. So I kind of wanted to just put that out there, have some fun. Because again, I there's not many other ways I can put this. I could put it in Braille, I guess, but there's really no other way I can put the fact that I've been saying it since last year. The three-peat is imminent. It's happening. We have to accept it. There's just no way. So what do we have here? We have a nice, really new and improved Eagles team, who now people are like, oh wow, the Eagles hung last time they played, and now they got Barkley, and now they're really firing, and all these different things. And to me, it's just nonsense. It's just another way to explain a possibility for the Chiefs to lose. And I would be very, very surprised if this game did not come down to, quote, referee incompetence. Because that's all it is. The referees are told what to do. And like I said, very soon, I've been saying this for a while, but I actually do have a little bit of downtime now. A little less things going on. I am going to reach back out to Tim and just let him know I'm ready whenever he is. He told me he's ready. No questions are off limits. So he's the guy in the NBA who got kicked out essentially for, apparently, even though he wasn't even a head official, just, deciding he's going to have games go a certain way. And everybody just bought right into it, which is nonsense. But my whole point is, it's a script. It's sports entertainment legally. And that's what we're going to see. So we can accept it now. I've been telling, again, I got a friend at work. She hates the Chiefs, which I understand. I'm not a fan of them either. Taylor Swift, all that nonsense. But I'm like, just accept it. If we know it's coming, it's stupid to hope for the opposite when we know the script. So that's basically it. I mean, there's not much more I can go into. You can watch my entire playlist on the Chiefs. My last many videos where I've been saying over and over, the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. They're getting the three-peat. And I just don't see any reason that the Eagles would win. The only reason would be for them to, quote, prove it's not scripted. And they could have done that last year. They could have done it the year before. They didn't. They don't care. They're targeting a much different audience right now. They want the short attention span TikTokers and Gen Zers, whatever you want to call them, to just watch, enjoy Taylor Swift, and root for the Chiefs. It's the Jordan of this era. They are not going to let this man lose. So I thought that was the best way I could put it, maybe, in the form of poetry, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I don't see any way that the Chiefs lose this game. So I thought it'd be fun. I was a little bored at work today, so I was writing some shit down, having some fun. And yeah, it's going to be the Chiefs. I'll probably have another video out before the game. I've been saying this for a bit, but I really do want to do it. I want to do a live video, of course, for the Super Bowl. We can do it before, we can do it during. It really doesn't matter to me. I will have some time. But for me, again, I just kind of wanted to have some fun. I know a lot of people, I don't do a lot of videos where I really mess around. The last one was my top 10 greatest basketball players, which is pretty ironic because it went into Jordan. And of course, Patrick here is being compared to the next Jordan. And that's what they want. They realize how much money Jordan made them, and they want the same thing again. So yeah, I don't see any logical reason for the Eagles to win this game. So I thought I would just kind of, in my own way, just explain again why the Chiefs are 100% winning this Super Bowl. Jalen is definitely going to be hurt. And you can see they're just pumping them up so hard. Like, on paper, the Eagles look like the team that should win. And that's the reason they're doing it. Because now people are watching and they're like, wow, we got a much improved Eagles team. This is the year. And as I alluded to earlier, win, lose, or draw, Philly, I'm from Philly. They're burning the city down. And when they win, they burn the city down even worse than when they lose. So there's like no incentive at all for the Eagles to win this game. For Mahomes, it's the literal only way you have a Mahomes versus Brady argument. Even if he loses and then wins the Super Bowl next year, you don't have an argument. He's only in the Montana category, maybe Manning. He's not in the Tom Brady 7 championship. Basically, half his career he was in the Super Bowl. You don't have that argument. So for me, it's quite obvious. I thought I would do this for fun, and I hope it didn't go too long, but it is what it is. I will be doing a live video, like I said, probably on the Super Bowl or around the Super Bowl, and we'll go into all of it. So you guys can let me know, maybe a good day. You know, if you think the Super Bowl itself's fine, I got a few people that are having parties and stuff, so I'm not sure how much time I'll have. But I'll gladly do a live video before, or maybe the day before. Or we can try and do it during if I do decide I'm just going to chill. But yeah, for me, it's been so obvious since last year. And you're not going to deny a three-peat here. You need the Michael Jordan comparison. Because then you have Brady versus Mahomes. And that's obviously where they're going with it. They never like to shut down a possible debate. Because you have to understand that all these shows that talk ESPN, even though I think it's a dying network, they have to talk about these type of things. So to me, I just don't see any other inevitability than the Chiefs winning, Patrick Mahomes getting his third, fourth ring, 3 in 3 years. And then I honestly think Kelsey will propose to Taylor Swift with a Super Bowl ring. I could be wrong, but it's something. I made a joke last year about it, and I said it's not going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised. This year, I think it's going to happen. I really do. And there's been so much groundwork that's been laid by the commentators and the talking heads that I just don't see any way Mahomes does not win this Super Bowl. So, I know it's a little redundant. That's why I tried to mix it up. But yeah, Chiefs are winning. Put all your money on the Chiefs, in my opinion. I feel like it's one of the easiest plays of the year. And I'll probably have another video out, and then we'll go live too. But yeah, I'm curious your guys' opinion. If you think maybe I'm wrong, maybe they are trying a swerve, which again, if that was the case, they would have done it last year. For me, it's just pretty obvious and straightforward. I feel like Chiefs got it. It's already been written, and they're going to get the three-peat. So you can let me know what you think, obviously. If you disagree with me, I'm not one of those people that is completely against somebody else's perspective. But I just don't see the Eagles having any chance here. As a guy from Philly, with basically my whole family being Philly fans, I know how Philly is. This is like the most Philly thing ever to lose to Kansas City here, even though they should win. So yeah, that's basically it. I'll try and do a video with some props and stuff, but I thought this would be a good one. Again, just trying to put it in maybe a different way about why it's so obvious the Chiefs are going to win. So let me know what you think. We'll have some more videos out going forward. Take care and happy earnings.